Okay, that should hopefully bring all of this stuff over. I'm going to start pulling up this belt.
Nope.
You right there?
Yep, I'm just...
So many robots. Do you see all these robots?
Yeah. I'm also having them trash all the red belt in my inventory.
Oh, there's so much stuff here. It's going to take them forever. I'm just going to help them move it.
They're all over the place.
Ugh. So realistically, what we should be able to do now that we have this is I should actually just be able to. Well, I should wait until we switch these back to regular steel chests. But I should be able to just make a blueprint of this, and then we should be able to basically just paste it down for the copper.
Yeah, that's
and
probably best.
And we don't have to rebuild this by hand.
So are these like robots like lined up here? Like, do they need to recharge or something? Is that what's happening?
That is
Okay.
100% what's happening. Just gonna empty my inventory and just help them move stuff because there's a ton of steel and they can only move small amounts at a time.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got a bunch of steel in my inventory also. Get rid of those.
I wish there was a button to. You know what? There probably is. Take all. My inventory is basically empty. I can just pick up the whole thing at a time. Oh, I should clear my logistics slots because I took everything out of my inventory. The robots are going to try and put it all back.
God, this is just crazy looking.
Yeah. It probably means that they're not actually doing their jobs elsewhere, but...
Meh. Let's go see how that robot factory is doing. Yeah, someone requested some red belt, and they're just like floating over here waiting to charge.
Yeah, that's probably the ones trying to refill the logistics slots I canceled.
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of empty ones still flying over. Work faster, robots.
Yeah, they're working about as fast as they can, which is why I'm kind of trying to help them along here.
No. No helping the robots.
We could be here for like hours.
They haven't. They're not. They're not in charge yet. Although, actually, speaking of robots being in charge, I guess Elite Dangerous's AI was starting to do some really intelligent stuff, and they had to shut it down. Like, it was like it found like a way to like combine modules in a way that players couldn't.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't really been paying attention to any of the Elite Dangerous
I heard about it
subreddits or anything lately.
on my Space Sim podcast that I listen to. They talk about Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen and Star Trek, I think. One of those other. They occasionally talk about Eve.
Did you see that at E3 they announced a VR Star Trek bridge simulator game?
That I thought has been out for a
Well,
while.
there's been a bridge simulator game that's not associated with Star Trek for a while. It was not VR. But this one's like an officially licensed Star Trek game, bridge simulator game.
I heard of that. I'm really tempted to blow some money on a Vive.
You don't have a good enough graphics card to run a Vive.
I know, so that step one would be those new not a 10 like the 1070s.
No, it's a 1080. I think it's a 1080. It just came out.
Yeah, I thought the 1070 though. It's not like it's only been in prototype out, but I thought the 1070 is VR ready.
I thought it was the 1080.
The 1080 is like I thought like the 1080 was like $600 or whatever, and like the 1070 was only like $300. And I thought I heard the 1070 was VR ready. It's like for only $300.
Well, there's two models. I don't remember whether it was 1080 and 1070 or 1080 and 1090.
Yeah,
I thought it was 1080 and 1090, but I could be wrong. And they're VR ready. I don't think they're actually out yet, though.
No, like they're not like they're not out to the manufacturers.
If you're willing to risk an AMD model,
I haven't bought an AMD model graphics card in.
Well, they just announced two cards of their own that are cheaper than the 1080s and perform at like almost as well, like not quite as well, but almost as well. I think they run like 200 or something like that. Like it's a huge deal for people who are want to get into VR. Obviously the big problem is driver support for AMD cards are not always the greatest.
Yeah,
I haven't bought AMD cards since before they became AMD. So
I bought it when it was still Radeon.
Yeah.
The last I heard on the graphics card front was that like the 1080 was like outperforming the 900 the 900 Titans or the whatever TI.
I don't think they're outperforming the Titan, but they're it's like close enough that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. It's like well, if you're running in if you're running this game in 4K, 1080, not 1080p, 1080 GTX. NVIDIA's, let's see here.
Okay, good. I didn't cut power
1080
to anything
and
there.
1070. GTX 1080. Well, let's do performance comparison. Let's see here. Who do we trust? I guess PC Gamer is probably a good enough result. Well, it popped up a bunch of things that I've never seen before. Oh, they got a nice little like diagram of what the chipset looks like, which is pretty cool for geeks like me. But why? All I want is a chart. NVIDIA or PC Gamer. Let's see here. All right, let's just go Google Images.
All right, there we go.
Here we go. I think this is something that... So let's see here. The 1080... So both the 1080 and the 1070, at least the MSI brand, were outperforming the 980 Ti.
Interesting.
In terms of frames per second. FPS, higher is better. Thank you. All right. By the way, I added like 300 logistics robots to the network.
Okay, I mean, I added like that entire chest full earlier.
Yeah,
I don't think most of them are getting used most of the time.
Yeah, when I came back, the chest was almost full, and I added them. God, look at all these like charging. How I emptied out most of my inventory. Where is there any more of those chests still left in the old thing?
What?
You picked them all up, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I picked everything up.
Where's the rest of this iron coming from?
What iron?
Or is it just like left over?
It's probably left over because I swapped the requester chest back out.
Right.
They should just find a home. They should probably just shove them in.
I just hope we don't have like.
They should shove them in storage chests.
Just hope we don't have any like provider chests of steel anywhere else. I don't think we do.
Well, there aren't requester chests anymore.
Okay, I mean, somewhere else on our network is what I'm getting at.
You're missing what I'm saying.
Okay.
There aren't requester chests anymore, so nothing is actively requesting steel.
Are we sure?
Yeah, all the requester chests were right here.
Okay.
Like the requester chest we put down. If there's a requester chest somewhere else, there's supposed to be a requester chest there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In fact, actually, one of these buffers needs to be provider chests. Hopefully these robots can figure out what the hell they're doing here.
Yeah.
It's going to take them a long time. Okay, so we should have enough room. Okay, I swapped that back out so I can actually make this blueprint now. Something like this. Whether there's actually enough room to actually place this down is a different question. Okay, yeah, I was kind of afraid of that. So we have to shut everything down to do this. Well, yeah, because we're going to have to, like, clear the buffer. The copper buffer.
Okay.
Oh boy, that's a thing. I should go get some construction robots too.
Yeah.
Oh God, there's freaking. Huh.
The rope.
Did we disconnect the solar panels by accident?
No, because they're all running at 1.1 kilowatt.
We disconnected something somewhere because the solar panels are not running on this end of the.
Oh, all the way on the far east side.
Yeah.
Probably when we.
I figured it out. I found it. I think.
Okay.
Really, gotta have some sort of redundancies here.
Redundancies.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, because I was walking past the steam engines. I'm like, why are all the steam engines running? They shouldn't be running. That's not right at all.
I added one more robo port for these things to charge at by the area. Okay, it actually looks like we're finishing up because a bunch of them are just storing themselves in this robo port I dropped. So that's good.
Yeah. What was I coming down here to get? Oh, construction robots.
Yep.
Okay. It's such a long walk.
Actually, we could. Speaking of long walks, what does it take for concrete?
Okay, so I am going to shut off the copper.
Okay.
And I think I will just let it naturally drain our buffer. So we don't have to move that stuff by hand.
Yeah.
I'm also going to place down some power redundancies here because I gotta pull up a bunch of electric poles.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to pull this one up too. Yep, I was afraid of that. So the question is, how long is it going to take to drain all the copper out of this buffer?
Well, shouldn't take too long.
You would be surprised. There's an awful lot of copper in there. Why don't we call that for a recording session? And I'll let this drain off camera, and then next time we will continue on with this stuff. I guess since we're going to drain buffers, I might as well drain the iron buffer too, since we're going to move all of that stuff as well.
Yeah.
And then we can let it build back up, I guess, after we build it and whatever. All right. Well, that'll do it. That'll do it for this episode. If you like the video, click like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for some more Factorio. Thanks for watching. Bye.